him come back. You know, cool to see. Is it a her?
I think it's a she.
I don't know what that is.
It's not clear. Yeah.
It's well. Here's a look at the map. It's gonna be Sky Temple.
Sky Temple.
All right. It's you know, we've been through this a lot. Every single time we do a cast, we kind of explain the maps, but surely by now you guys get exactly how it works. It's all about capping those temples and triggering them and doing damage to the enemy's base. And over time, it snowballs pretty quickly on this map.
Yeah, it was just announced in the PTR they're going to be testing a version of this map that doesn't ever have 3 shrines active at the same time, which I do like, because this map does kind of snowball out of control in the mid to late game. If you get a huge advantage, it starts to get out of control. Because simply all you have to do is stand on a location. You'll even have to kill the enemies that are there for the shrines to do damage.
And, you know, the damage is going to be to the buildings, which in turn is going to give you such an experience advantage that it kind of gets out of control because teams are just going to be bullied off the shrines every time.
We have seen some Korean timings with Brightwing where players will destroy, say, the Bruisers, and then leave them open and then have Brightwing cap them at the last second and then teleport down so they go up into that lane as she's leaving it, or he or it, we don't know. But just something to note is Sky Temple is the most picked map in this tournament. The maps are decided by a coin toss. The winner of the coin toss can either choose first pick or the map, almost every time first pick. But this is going to be map number 1.
Yes, great map to start off on. A nice big map. We usually go through the big maps first. We leave like the smaller ones for later, like the Haunted Mines and all that.
Yeah.
The less sort of gimmicky ones, I guess.
Yeah, the ones that are a little bit more, counterplay is more difficult.
Well, here we go to start things off.
DK going to grab the first pick, so this is Snake's map choice. They had a great win rate. They lost their first time on this map versus Black just last week.
Well, how are they going to start things off here? Are they going to ban out Abathur as their first ban?
Let's see if Snake bans Zeratul or not, if they're going to try to bait.
Do they want to really let them have Uther there?
That's a good question. You know, that's why first pick is so important.
It's such a hard situation. They got to let one through. I mean, they don't want that Abathur to deal with, so...
Yeah.
It's either going to be Zeratul or Uther getting banned out here, I'd have to say.
You know, if they allow DK to pick Zeratul, it's not going to be the end of the world. Noblesse has played Zeratul before. He's not too bad at it. We've seen a little bit of flexibility for DK to use Zeratul in their top, but Sonya.
All right.
Which probably means
never mind.
Orioman wants Leoric, so he's getting rid of Sonya. So this gives an opportunity for DK to grab Uther, but if they do, I think Orioman is going to grab Leoric with that Jaina.
The scary thing is, though, like, Orioman can choose whatever he wants. Like, he's got such a big bank of heroes. He could be going for Kerrigan for all we know. We'll have to find out what their plan is.
And there's the first pick, Zeratul, so they're going to grab it. It's going to be Uther.
Uther, good choice to start off. And what's that second pick going to be?
Jaina. Yeah, Jaina is like top 3 right now. This does open up Johanna for DK.
Yep, they can definitely go for that. Oh, they are. For
DK, yeah, they might grab damage because keep in mind that SC loves his Arthas, and they might not necessarily want to grab Johanna here yet. Might want to grab one of the stronger damages.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they got such a big pool of tanks, they don't have to worry too much like other teams do.
They could also grab one of their supports here, but it is going to be Johanna first. Always the fear is if they don't grab Malfurion here, Snake could ban it. But there's Sylvanas.
Right. You did see a lot of Sylvanas picked from Team DK in their previous match, so no surprise there at all.
Would not be surprised to see a Malfurion ban here.
Malfurion ban would make a lot of sense. That would just put him in such a bad place. They have to go with
either Carzim or Rhaegar, you know.
Or even Brightwing, you know, good map for it, big map. Be able to stay in a lane for a long time before that shrine comes active.
And we have seen Jaehyun is quite capable on Brightwing, actually taking wins versus MMR with Brightwing just on Tuesday. It was an Illidan dive comp with Abathur, but still, you know, he knows how to use the hero well.
Yeah, it's a very viable hero at this point.
Yeah, if you get Polymorph on Uther before you get the Divine Shield down, that's always an amazing
That's a huge thing. The only problem, I guess, is the healing just isn't as strong as Uther or Malfurion or Rhaegar.
It's not a burst heal, you know, especially until you have Blink Heal.
Yeah, it takes some time. Well, they're really thinking about this second ban here. It's a very important one, considering what they've seen so far.
I personally really like the Malfurion ban here.
Yeah, I think getting rid of him is good. There we go. That makes it a little bit easier to, not as strong heals, sustainability.
Let's see what DK bans here, though, because there's still a lot open on the table for Snake. They have not grabbed a single tank. I think a Leoric ban here would be warranted, considering Orioman. Plus, they have Uther already. It's going to be the Butcher, though.
That makes sense, too, because they have Uther already. You know, Butcher could be going for that Divine Shield dive and really mess up a team fight.
Now, on the side of DK, you know, they still need their healer Snake's going to go ahead and grab Leoric as expected for Oreo Man, but what is going to be this next pick? They need another damage dealer. I think Vala really fits at this point in time.
Yeah, Vala.
Oh, Kael'thas!
All right. All right, well, that would be the other choice. They got Ice and Fire this time. They're going with both casters. That's interesting. That's something we don't normally see ever.
Kael'thas is so underrated in Korea. I feel like when you put him in Mong's hands, man, that's exactly what I wanted to see.
Yeah. Well, it is certainly a good map for it as well because it does go late game. You will get to level 13 pretty easily, and that's where he really comes online with Chain Bomb.
Exactly. Chain Bomb's so strong, especially when you start taking shrines and you're actually team fighting in such an enclosed space where your opponent's forced to stay in such an enclosed area. Though DK, if they're going to run double tank, now's the time to grab Arthas.
Yeah, I think we'll certainly be seeing an Arthas from them. They love their double tank. I don't think I've seen a game from them in a while where they just didn't go for that sort of composition.
Well, Noblesse on Johanna is insane. If you guys didn't see his play versus MRR on Tuesday, definitely go back and watch the VODs. And then if you look at SC's perfect win rate, 6-0 on Arthas, the Arthas, meta maker, he's the one who made Arthas so viable in Korea because he showed the builds and he was showing the potential of Arthas, the Howling Blast that we see from him.
Oh yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that. So we'll see exactly what they want to go with it, but I'm certain at least one of those picks is going to be Arthas.
Yeah, for sure. And then of course the last pick will most likely be Rhaegar, which does suit the composition.
You could still go with Kharazim or Brightwing. I mean, the pool is getting bigger slowly but surely with the healers, but it's certainly, if the current meta is still the same, it should be Rhaegar.
We could also see SC take a new Brock here. I don't think it would be a bad choice. Maybe Tyrael as well, diving on top of Fire and Ice.
I like diving. I like that idea. I mean, Kael'thas certainly doesn't really have any sort of escape, except for that Arcane Barrier at 16 and then his Storm Talent Blade.
Sure. If the game goes
Bolt
that late.
Storm.
Oh, look at this. I was wondering if we might see one tank, and they are going to grab Vala, so extra damage here.
That's interesting.
And extra range damage, so we might see a Hungering Arrow build just kind of kite away from these tanks.
That's really the build we see most from Vala these days, all about that Hungering Arrow, which makes a lot of sense. But,
there's the Rhaegar.
Yeah. Single tank, though, against this composition. That's interesting.
I think we might see, actually, Tyrael coming in here.
Tyrael would be good. Tyrael would be good.
All other choices, obviously, they could take their own Arthas. Or potentially even Muradin, but I feel like Tyrael suits the composition the best.
They would probably want to have a little bit of dive of their own. Counterplay for Zeratul or any of the other heroes.
If you just go ahead and send Tyrael in with Judgment, then Divine Shield him, there's just so many squishies on Team DK that I feel like it's a perfect choice. Not going to be taking Sanctification with this composition if you do it, but Muradin is the choice instead.
Still a bit of dive there. You can always Dwarf toss in. Has great stun, great sustainability, great amount of HP, so he can tank a lot as well.
And this is the unique comps I was expecting to see today.
Who do you think came ahead in that?
I have to give a slight lead to Snake, to be honest.
Yeah.
They got Uther, and they got Kael'thas, which I think is so underrated right now in Korea.
I completely agree with you. I'm really impressed with the lineup from Snake right now. I think they're coming into this with an edge, but let's see what the single tank composition can do for DK.
Noblesse is an insane Johanna player, so never underestimate what he can actually do.
So packed in here, people are standing already.
Yeah, there's actually more people probably coming in soon. But guys, let's go into game number 1. It's ready. It is going to be on Sky Temple, DK versus Snake. All right, let's jump into game number 1. DK versus Snake, the semis, the losers final. And SC is actually on Johanna. It's going to be Noblesse on Zeratul.
Wow, that's interesting. Bit of a change up there. See how it works out. Zeratul still a great pick against, Kael'thas, Jaina. Like, he can come in there and do a sick amount of damage very quickly. Great ganks potentially as well.
And just seeing Mong on Kael'thas makes me so excited. I don't think he's played Kael'thas yet this tournament.
Yeah, we never see Kael'thas, not since the big nerfs occurred. Look at this, already working.
On the bot, yeah.
That's a scary thing about Sylvanas. She can push a lane, especially if it's a tri-lane. How are you going to stop pushing down a tower that quickly and getting that experience lead?
Yeah, he's basically abusing the fact that in the meta in Korea right now, everyone kind of just groups up around the mid lanes and gets ready for a potential team fight to try to get an early lead. But if you do that, and suddenly Sylvanas is in the bot, you have no answer for that. And the tower is not even going to be an answer because she simply just disables it.
We do see that Oreo Man on Leoric. Classic.
Classic.
Classic, but he's so damn good with him.
He is so
You're
good.
going to be seeing a lot of mercenary camps. I guess.
An attempt to steal probably denies.
I keep coming back to the Warcraft 3 term of like creep jacks.
I like it.
That's what I really want to say, but I'm like, is that right? Like,
Well, because Sony got banned early, this opens up the Zeratul pick. But to a certain extent, I almost feel like it's baited. In this way, they get Zeratul onto the field, and then they build a tank comp that Zeratul's not that strong against.
Zeratul already getting caught out as well. Tist stunning him up, bringing him out of Cloak. Just going to give him a little bit of an edge here. Now, both shrines are active.
Yeah, and Snake currently controls the Watchtower as well, which
Four
gives him
here.
extra vision.
This could be dangerous if DK moved forward a little too much.
And actually, this looks like they're just going to trade, although Sylvanas is somewhat vulnerable right now.
Look at that harassment. Very nicely done from Oriman, just delaying it for as long as possible. Gives Snake the option of rotating up if they once they have exhausted that shrine in mid.
Yep, that's exactly what I think we're going to see. Now supported by Crazy moving up here in the top. Here they come, though. There's an early rotation.
Oh, look at
Gravity
that.
Lapse connects.
Beautifully done.
So much damage.
So much damage. He's going to have to pull back. He's going to have to hit the well. And really great momentum from Snake right now.
Noblesse trying to find some harassment, but notice everywhere Noblesse is where they send the tanks. They actually rotate down Orioman and Tist every time he shows his face.
Wow, this is ambitious. 2 tanks against 4 of the other team. Everyone rotating down now, though. But Orioman already pretty damaged.
Scott, level 4, and he's getting the Nether Winds talent, which is, you know, the way people are building him in Korea.
He's going to go down.
Oh, barely
so
survives. But look at Mong has so much CC potential here now. He's getting caught a little bit, but he can always just knock them up into the air, as you see here.
Just a random one in there. Finding one of them. And they're going to try for it now. Looks like they're all coming in here.
They're actually going to grab those last shots. Very
Wow.
well done.
That's going to give him quite an edge and experience. Getting that last burst is going to guarantee at least one more tower.
Man, the rotations again here from Snake, definitely their strongest point. If I had to give, like, you know, a really strong point to each of these teams, I'd definitely say DK's compositions and how they team fight is the strongest. Snake's rotations are the strongest. I want to even say something about Black. I'd say their drafting is the best in Korea.
Yeah, I agree with that. Rotations, especially from Snake, has always been the thing to look out for, especially from Orioman, always making the right calls. Look at this. They might even find another one. They're just going to aggressively go for the Siege Giants of DKs right now, and they don't even know what's coming, but they can't stop it.
Oh man, Zeratul over here caught as well. Definitely did not want to fight that straight up, but with the rest of the team nearby, Kong can actually kind of poke at him. And there you go, going to grab those Siege Giants. Means that in the future they're not going to have those to pressure when the bot shrine comes up very soon.
Vala going for that that multi-strike build instead of the Hungering Arrow, which we thought.
Yeah.
So more of a wave clearish sort of pushing style.
Speaking of pushing, they're pushing bot hard right now with these Siege Giants. Noblesse does come in here to try to push it back. Kinu just self-heals and walks away.
Fair enough there. Nice little experience lead already for Snake, though.
Yeah, and at level 7, we're going to get Cleanse. Obviously, the Living Bomb gets upgraded its range and damage for Kael'thas. It's kind of doing the standard Korea build.
Yeah. And a pretty powerful Condemn build as well from SC. Just looking at Team DK.
Yeah, we're going to see Leoric going to get the extended range on his Skeletal Swing. As you would expect to see, going to actually give him a lot more slow in the fight. They're actually going to grab these bruisers really fast here with their Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice, Monkey getting pretty low there. It's always hard to do those bruises so early on.
But he times this out pretty well. He's going to be healed up and full mana just in time for that bot shrine.
That is perfect timing. Really well done. They're going to have to defend top. We still see Johanna up there, so it almost gives me the impression they want to let this one go.
Going to be a tough choice to make. You know, they're both on level 8, and if they just do this, what Snake is going to immediately realize, oh, okay, you guys are giving this, so we'll just leave Tist on the shrine, and then we'll just kind of keep pushing the lanes too, and we'll get ahead in EXP and have the shrine. It's like you lose both ways.
It's interesting. It's an interesting call from DK to make this choice. Like, well, they got the bruises. We can actually push. We're just going to lose top as well. So
yeah,
I guess the damage is still the same.
It's so hard to actually push against
Leoric. Man. Oh, he's in trouble. He could be going down here.
He could be.
One more shot and he's got it.
It looks like he might actually escape a little more slow, but no, he will go down. But is it worth it?
Is it worth it? They bought a lot of time. They're on top of the fort. But everyone's rotating up now, so they shouldn't be able to take it down.
They better get out of there, too, because the Shrine has already expired. Like you said, everyone is rotating up, and if they lose anybody for this, it's definitely not going to be worth it.
Not to mention, Heroics are online for Snake now.
Yep. Everything you would expect to see, nothing out of the ordinary. Water Elemental for Jaina, hopefully the one that should be noted. We saw Ring of Frost popular for like a week, and now it's back to Water Elemental.
Yeah, kind of a shame. It was an exciting spell to watch. Just happen if he gets the hit. And look at that, they claim another fort here.
Yeah. 2 forts down already is DK.
Yeah. Both level 10 now, so we really get to see how these compositions end up against each other now that everything is online. I know for sure Snake gets better in the late game, especially with that Kael'thas.
Yeah.
But right now, there's a good chance that DK could do some damage.
The number one thing to note is that at level 16, Sylvanas is going to get her vulnerability talent, which is going to make everyone, die a lot faster in a fight. But if you look at the 16 talents, I'll hold that thought. Mong is going to do a ton of damage off here on Crazy Moving, actually forcing an early Ancestral.
That was not the best Ancestral. A little premature there.
Oh man, they actually might continue to fight this.
I think they might. They're pretty confident right now. They did claim that mercenary camp as well, so they've got a bottom push going on.
They have such insane wave clear. They have just the much better composition overall, I have to say. And when you get to level 16, you're going to have all the upgrades for Kael'thas. You can have his Mana Barrier, you're just going to have Chain Bomb. You've got Jaina with her vulnerability talents. And then you've got double swing for Leoric if that's how you want to build him. There's just so much potential for damage at 16. They're just trying to get there ASAP. Pushing these lanes so hard. They are counter-pushed in the bot lane this time, though.
Yeah, I guess they could be going for this fort and will even things up, but they're going to be losing their last fort up top for it. So you see that now, and while that's all happening, both shrines activate mid and bottom. I don't know why Zeratil's there.
Well, I think he's trying to find a pick maybe on Mong, but it's just not going to happen. And I have to really question the Zeratul pick here. It's just kind of like, it's up there, let's grab it. But then Snake's comp is really strong against it. Zeratul hasn't been able to find much ground at all, especially because Tist and Orderman are always following him. As soon as they see him in a fight, they jump on him.
He got blown up there. Fire and Ice found him. Well, the thing is, we haven't seen a Void Prison yet. This is really the game changer. When they go down, like, everything can change if he gets a good one, right? But so far, I'm being pretty unimpressed with Zeratul.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunity, I guess, just hasn't been there yet, but that's because of the counterplay by Snake, and they're always split, and they take fights that are really solid. Again, they're not going to force a fight unless they know they're going to win it.
Look at this, they're trading out here. Level 13, new talents activated for Snake, so they do have that advantage.
Notice how Snake rotates again. I really want to point out the rotations. They take most of the top, then walk away, because there's more energy, there's more rounds to be found at the bot one, so they're actually just going to get basically 1.5 shrines out of this, even though they trade.
Look at this, they're actually going to be pushing mid fort as well. This could be a pretty powerful rotation from Snake if they want to take this team fight. They could save it as well, and look at this, they're coming on up here, they're looking for it.
That they are.
Oh no, he completely caught out here. Big mistake from Rehgar.
Jaehyun going the totally wrong way there to try to escape. Way too risky, got slowed by the fort.
That is such a rookie move, Wolf.
Yeah.
I can't believe he chose that way. Maybe clicking the mini-map and not paying attention to where his hero was running?
Or maybe he thought that was the way out, but he was going to get slowed by the fort and die no matter what. Maybe he was like, if I die, the rest of the team might have a better chance, but
maybe.
Either way, man, it definitely isn't a good thing. They could actually, they could invade this.
I think they're looking for a team fight. Not finding a way in there because Leoric was out of position, the same with Muradin.
Looks like maybe Mong wanted to gravity lapse over the side, but just didn't happen.
It's a hard choice, especially if it's just the damage dealers and the healer, right? Like, that's a big, risky move that could go either way.
Especially because Void Prism is online and they know that. Prism, not Prism, excuse me.
Say whatever you want, Wolf.
I'll say what I like.
Say whatever you want, man. Well, look at this. We're actually going to see an aggressive Merc camp take for the Giants of DK, but they have been scouted out here. They might claim it, but a team fight might follow up here.
DK is taking smart risks right now, considering the position they're in. They're down a level.
Yeah, they're going to be careful though not to get caught out. If they get caught out and lose a team fight at this point in the game, they're going to lose the keep.
They're doing really smart rotations though, and I do like that they're taking this risk because look, now bot is being pushed now by 2 Merc camps, and the Shrines are going to come up shortly. Looks like Snake is pushing the mid lane at the same time.
Going to be looking for a pick here. They're really bullying the map. They have that 1 level advantage. It's not a talent advantage currently, but still it's enough to push DK off the map.
Yeah, they're just really trying to keep the lanes all pushed. And those the top lane had bruisers, and they're actually just going to push the top or the bot and mid lanes now. So every lane is constantly pushed. That gives them a lot more vision. so they can actually try to deny camps. It's not going to happen right now because there are no camps on the map available except Boss. But they just keep pushing it, and when the shrines come up, it means they have more vision. They can get picks before the shrines actually activate.
Yeah, certainly so. It looks like Snake almost fishing for that boss, or at least a boss bait. DK haven't found it yet. I haven't taken the bait. Not even really rotating up top or bottom for their shrines just yet either. Looks like we might see, finally, Noblesse going to be capping the bottom one.
Yeah, he's sneaking over there. Luckily for him, no one has found him. We are going to see Tist rotate down and actually get caught by Vala. Does actually escape, though. Looks like he was hoping to help engage with Kinu because we see Mong is actually rotating down. Looks like they're going to trade again.
Oh, they found him. This could be a huge disaster.
And there it is. It is a disaster. Look at that. Just blown up in seconds. Multiple stuns there.
Yeah, great lockdown. Great sort of rotating of the skills as well. And, man, once again, Zeratul not showing any decent play whatsoever.
They're making him look like a worthless pick here, actually. You know, first pick, Zeratul has found nothing.
Snake just waited for him to cap it as well. It's like, well, they're going to cap one, and whichever one they cap, we're going to rotate to and kill them. And here we go again, a big team fight. 4v5 now.
Oh, look at that Divine Shield on Orioman coming in with the March of the Black King. There's a good Ancestral there on Sniper.
Is it going to be enough, though? Sniper in a bad place. He's going to try to get out of there, but Janer's still following him.
Oh, crazy moving, putting a ton of damage off. Notice Mong's position here is basically perfect, kiting through so much damage.
He's lasting so long. SC going to be the next to go down. Orioman looking for him, going to finish him off here.
And crazy moving goes down the other side of things as well. And Jaehyun, excuse me, going to get caught and killed with a nice stun there by Kong. And Muradin now coming up in the mid lane, going to push that lane while they get all this extra EXP from this tower. They're going to hit 20 much faster.
Complete domination. This is the name of the game, you know, that what a snowballing effect that we've been seeing all game long. Snake got that advantage early on, and ever since then, they never let go once.
Look at this, even going to start Boss. Mong just dropping off those living bombs here, going to dodge the stuns. And here comes Orioman and Tist to help push it back. Actually, did you happen to catch what talent Mong got at 16? I missed it. Really curious to see which one he got. He probably got the Mana Barrier, I would assume, but I actually don't know.
Arcane Barrier, I think it was that.
It's either going to be that or Fury of the Sunwall, most likely,
well,
right?
I don't think we've seen double Flame Strikes go down, so it must be that Arcane Barrier, just for survivability, which makes a lot of sense when you're dealing with like a Zeratul as well.
Yeah. If someone jumps on you, you can escape most of the time, especially once you get to 20 and you get your Bolt of the Storm talent as well.
Certainly so. That's really your only escape. But you got to wait till level 20 to get it. Here we go again, another team fight, fighting for this Merc camp.
Orioman standing on it as he does best. Kiting out here with SC. Tist taking quite a bit of damage, but here comes that Water Elemental. Noblesse in the fight, but there's that barrier to protect him. And SC comes in to try to grab everybody, try to contempt everybody, but nobody dies. Orioman on the chase of Sniper here as well. That Void Prison.
Where was that during the fight? Where was that to save SC? Just a little too late here. Orioman getting pretty low, but still healthy enough to bully everyone out.
Oh man, and down he goes. Down goes Zeratul. And there's another Divine Shield here on Tist as he moves forward, mowing them down. Orioman at the back here. And this boss is already starting to work at the core. I think they could just right-click it and win game number one.
Very dominating fashion. You're sending a message in game one. Snake looking fantastic today.
Absolutely. GG here in game one. They will take it easily. 9 kills to 1.